What's up, guys? Welcome to the next episode of Ageless Wisdom. We are back at it. This is Jaws, and we also got
Leo. We're so excited for you guys to join us for this episode because we got an interesting guest and a very exciting topic.
And with that, we have Zack with us. Say hello.
Hi guys, I'm Zack, a long 3-year friend of Josh and Leo, so I'm honored to be here.
Yes, sir. I am a friend of...
And this is his first time on the internet and live with us, so he might be a little nervous, but it's okay.
It's okay because he's a 3-year-long friend. And so he is available for friendships, but only 3 years at a time.
Only 3 years at a time, yeah.
And then you have to renew it online. ZackFriendships.com.
I'm like college.
You go and drop out? What?
Hey.
That's what college is.
Hey, yeah.
Some people go, some people drop out.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Well, let's hear a little bit about your past and who you are, your background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, this year I'm doing an internship, and I'm just seeing what God has for me. And before this, I was a coach at a school, and what's crazy, I actually worked with Leo's dad, and his dad was a very awesome boss. Taught me a lot of the traits and characteristics I have right now.
My dad is a sponsor of this video. That's why he's being paid to say that.
You was a coach.
And but before that, I worked at Walmart, and yeah, that's pretty much all about me. Graduated high school, got accepted into a couple colleges, but I chose to stay in church and stuff like that.
Cool.
Awesome.
So, the topic of today's episode, we're talking about fatherlessness.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that it's a problem or it's an issue. Because we want to say like that we are strong enough that we can do things ourselves, and the truth is that God has set up a nuclear family. And for a reason, with different positions. You got a father that has his set of skills that he brings to the table. Then you got the mother who has her set of skills that brings her skills to the table. And then you got the children. And so, I mean, just a simple Google search here on, this is from the National Fatherhood Initiative. It says that 1 in 4 children live without a biological step or adoptive father in the home. 1 in 4. For every 4 kids, one of them is growing up without a father.
I'm one of those kids.
That's crazy. And that's why we have you in here, because we want to hear your experience. We want to hear your story. And for those of you out there that don't believe that this is an issue, we want you to listen to Zack's story, but at the same time, we want you to take into account these statistics. We're not making this up. This is out there. You can search this up yourself. I mean, I literally just searched this up just now. So this says this: the father absence crisis in America. Poverty, 4 times greater risk of poverty. Behavioral problems, more likely to have behavioral problems. Mom-child health, 2 times greater risk of infant mortality. Incarceration, more likely to go to prison. Crime, more likely to commit crime. Teen pregnancy, 7 times more likely to become pregnant as a teen. Child abuse, more likely to face abuse and neglect. Substance abuse, more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol. Child obesity, 2 times more likely to suffer obesity. Education, 2 times more likely to drop out of high school. This is some crazy stuff, guys. I mean, this stuff is real.
It's the reality
and
of a lot of situations.
And it's not. This is not saying that that it's because of fatherlessness that this is happening. It's saying we've noticed that people that grow up without fathers, these are the tendencies.
Yes.
And Zack, you have dodged the bullet.
Oh, yeah.
So talk to us about your life and, obviously where you're at now and how that influenced your purpose. And
tell us
all
what that means to you.
Even before I go into every detail about me, it's just like with Leo saying the statistics and everything, it just, in my head, it just came to me that when you don't have a father in the place, it leaves disalignment. So it's like now the son is supposed to follow after the father. The daughter is supposed to have a father's love, so she know how the man is supposed to treat her. But because the father left, now it's disalignment, and the whole family tree is actually unbalanced. So I might have got lucky, but that doesn't mean my brothers and sister got lucky. I decided to stay on the right path because of it. But for me, growing up, a big family, one of 8 kids. So
Wow.
yeah, the third youngest. So you understand, mom worked hard. I'm talking about she worked as hard as she could. My dad, he was in and out. He cheated on my mom a lot, and he was like a drug user. So when I became 4, she just had enough of him just stealing money from her, not being there, cheating. The kids being home alone. She just got tired and kicked them out. They got a divorce and stuff like that. And so just growing up, I seen my mama struggle like really, really hard. I'm talking about working 6 at night to 6 in the morning, sometimes working doubles, like trying to get it because
Wow.
just because I don't have a dad, that doesn't mean bills aren't going to stop coming in. That doesn't mean that we won't need rides to school and stuff like that. So bills continue, life continues. So she would work like as hard as she could, and you know, I don't blame her or anything like that. It's just we couldn't live. We had to survive at that point, and that's one of the things that I mainly struggled with. And then also getting a little bit older as I went into the adolescent years, you know, from like 15 to 18, ended up becoming homeless, having to live in a shelter with my mom and my 2 youngest brothers. Growing up after that, struggling with like sexuality, and then struggling with drinking, struggling with smoking, just always feeling a need to have sex, just wanting to have sex. I actually looked up into a study. I'm going to quote Jack Frost, and he looked into it too, and he was saying that kids who come out of their, he actually put a funny spin on it. He say when a kid comes out, he's like a boy. He's like this. He's like, give me the tools. I need to go build. I need to go build. He's like, when a girl comes out, she's like, nurse, come up here. I need to talk to somebody. I need to talk. I need to tell somebody how my day been. But a kid who feels alone, or a kid who is alone, play with their genitals. And that's because misery loves company. How did he say it? Not misery loves company. He said, satisfaction feeds sin. It was something along those lines. He's saying that because you can't fill that love up, you got to find something else. So, like, it's an actual study that showed that kids who are left alone for adoptions and stuff, they play with their genitalia. And that was just a real little fact pop up, I guess. So, that's what I struggle with. Homelessness, sexuality, feeling like I needed to fill in that void of not having a dad, going to the wrong people. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm so passionate about taking the youth and empowering them and teaching them like, hey, yeah, you've been through these situations, but you don't have to live in that. Your past doesn't dictate your future. Your choices do. You can choose to listen to this person and do the wrong things like my brother did. My younger brother, he decided that he wanted to hang around the wrong people, and what happened was he's in jail right now. My older brother, he decided to listen to the wrong people. He's in prison right now. But I decided to be who I was, to be farming that. Even though I made a bunch of bad decisions, I knew that I didn't want to be nowhere else other than in my Father's presence, so, which is God. So
Wow, so it sounds like you've had a long, rough story coming up. Well, I know you kind of talked about your passion for the youth, but how would you explain that more in detail of, like, what do you think your calling is, your purpose? What is your ministry with the youth? What do you want to do going forward?
I know my purpose is to serve my Father in heaven and His children on earth. That's my purpose first. My calling is, as I just said, to empower and teach the youth. Now, some things that I can do is just, like some of these kids who are in our community, I'm talking about right around the corner, or I feel like your community is 80 miles, east, west, north, and south. Within 80 miles, you need to be able to reach out. You need to be able to reach out. Go in those communities that are so broken, that has dealt with the things that I have dealt with, even probably worse, and show them like, hey, there's somebody that loves you out there. There's somebody that really cares about you. I know it's hard to believe that, but there is somebody out there. And just bring them to the church, show them that love, bring them around the other kids who's experienced the love that they haven't been able to experience, and show them that, hey, like, I know you don't trust this person, but this person has your best interests.
Yeah.
I think I want to spend some time on something real quick. You were talking about sexual desires, and I want to spend some time on this because this is something that that the church is uncomfortable to talk about. They're scared to talk about
It's
it.
too taboo.
I mean, it makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And we need to understand something here. That although it may be an uncomfortable topic, you would be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
The majority of children, I'm talking 12-year-olds,
Younger.
that have already been introduced to pornography, or even younger. I mean, this is the truth.
There are 12-year-olds that have already done it.
Yeah.
And so, and real quick, I do want to say that fatherlessness, and hear me out here, fatherlessness is not just he's physically not there, like he is not in my life. There is a lot of families where the father is present, he's there, but he's not being that spiritual guide, that spiritual example. And it's almost like, his body's there, but his mind's not there.
Yeah.
You know that expression, where, you're sitting at dinner with your wife, but you're thinking about the game, and you're not there. And so I've seen that a lot, even, where, yes, the father is there, and yet they're still dealing with the same issues as if someone who didn't have a father.
Yeah.
So it's not just enough to be physically present, to be a stack of, just a body there. That's not enough. And this is a problem that's been growing, and it's the biggest problem that we've had since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Sex and money.
Seriously, yeah.
I mean, that's the sex and drugs, that sells, and it always will. And so, but a lot of people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And so you bringing this up, I mean, it takes courage to bring up. It takes, a certain level of maturity to bring up and to talk about it and have a discussion about it. But I would like to clear up that this stuff is real.
Oh, yeah.
If you can't handle this, I'm sorry, but this is what we talk. I mean, this is real.
Yeah.
I know children. I know kids that are dealing with this.
Yeah.
Even in my ministry, I know.
Yeah.
And you know what the problem is? That they've told me, and they haven't even told their parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, this is just something that we have to start. It's the parents' responsibility. Parents have to fight.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be the ones. Is them. And so, I mean, I just wanted to focus on that and kind of. What age were you when
when I discovered anything
when y'all became homeless?
I think I was
So your dad left at 4 when you were 4,
I
right?
was 4, and I think we became homeless when I was like 14, transitioning to 15.
Talk to us about that. How was that time?
Oh,
How
man.
long were you?
Man, you talk about perseverance was like the biggest thing for me. I know my mom, she was married to this guy and they got divorced, but he knew the situation of us losing our apartment and us becoming homeless, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna step up and let y'all move in with me and stuff. And I was like, man, that's really awesome. He was a good guy, actually. But then behind the scenes, kids, you only know so much, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you actually don't know about. So there was a lot of times where it was like abusive relationship, like as in verbally abusive, and they were like getting real bad arguments and stuff like that. Like he'll curse out and it'll be really bad. And just one day he just kicked us out, and we stayed in a motel. I was 14 actually. We stayed in a motel for some time, and then my mom, she was working, like she was really working, and it just came to the point where she couldn't handle it. It was just so much and overwhelming, and by the grace of God, we ended up getting an opening position in the Salvation Army shelter, and we went there, and people, they might say, oh, it's a shelter, it's nothing. You don't realize when you're a sophomore in high school and your friends, like I was popular in the high school, so my friends, he's like, can we go to your house and spend the night? Nah, man, my mom's crazy. Zach, can you come to our house? Nah, man, I can't do it. My mom, she don't like it when I go out past this time and stuff. But really, the shelter has curfews. You can't bring nobody into the shelter. Can't nobody really go out of the shelter. And one thing that it was God humbling me, honestly. Not saying that God, I'm being very clear, God didn't want me to go through that, but I had to go through it because of my mom's decisions, which I'm not mad about. But it was a humbling experience for me.
Right.
And because I remember the bus would pull up, and I'll sit there, I try to get off as slow as possible, wait till the bus pull off, so they didn't see me walking to the shelter. Because it was really embarrassing,
Right.
All these kids know you play basketball, like you're always in people's face talking, and they're always in your face, and so it was really hard, honestly. And I think just after we almost stayed there for like a year, I think. And after some time, I was just like, I'm tired of like caring what they think and stuff like that. And I just walked in one day, and it brought peace, but at the same time, I was just like, man, I don't want to go back to school, and they make fun of me. So it was really hard, but it made me the man I am today. So
Wow.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember what I was trying to say earlier, actually, about the whole infant thing. It was pain seeks pleasure.
Oh.
That's what it is. So when you're dealing with a lot of pain and you don't know how to deal with it the right way, it seeks pleasure the wrong way.
I think that kind of adds on to what Leo was saying too. Is it kind of makes more sense in the context. Like pain pushes you into pleasure, and even if you have a father, if he's not consciously there, it will still cause pain that pushes you towards pleasure, right? And I think that's good that you remembered, because it really
I was
gives context to what Leo was saying as well.
Yeah, I know. Like for me as a kid, like I voluntarily lost my virginity when I was 17. But before that, I used to be molested as a kid, and I think around 6, 7, 8 is when I used to be molested, and I don't hold it against my father. I have like an earthly love for my father. But I feel as if my father was there, then it probably wouldn't have happened the way it happened. Because of that one sin that, they decided to cast on to me, that took me 16, I think, 16, 17, I don't know how many years, like a decade and some years on it. It took me that long to finally shake it off, basically. It took me a very long time to realize that, hey, you don't need to have sex to show people you love you. You don't need to be out smoking and drinking to be cool. You don't need to do this. You don't need the stuff that my dad should have taught me, but he couldn't, or he didn't choose to. I had to go out and try to seek pleasure the wrong way because I had so much pain.
And you learned,
And I learned
through the hard way. Man, I want to talk about, because we believe in generational curses.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
What in your life did you see tendencies that in your family, and then tendencies that you started to struggle with?
Yeah, so some of the generational curses that I started to deal with myself from like my parents and my brothers and sisters, like sexual immorality, greed, lust, envy, pretty much anything and everything you can think of, I started to deal with myself, and I started to think like I was the only person going through it and stuff like that. And I wanted to isolate myself because I was like, suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah. But for those of you listening, when we talk about generational curses, we don't want to get into this whole like spell kind of thing that is.
Yeah.
I mean, you could think about it like that. I mean, maybe that's how it is. But we're talking about generational curses in the way where, in the Bible, Jesus says, I only do what I see my Father doing. That's what Jesus says.
Yeah. It's like an inheritance, but
And so, in the same way, we only do what we see our Father doing. And so, I've seen time and time again If the father's a drunk, the kid most likely will end up being a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the truth. There's just a huge pull towards that. And that's what we're talking about when we're talking about generational curses. Something that your parents are dealing with that they haven't dealt with. For some reason, somehow, I don't know who orchestrated it like that or why is it like that. We have those tendencies of parents. And of course, good stuff is passed down. And so as a parent, when we become parents, our goal is that if anything is passed down to my kid, that it's all my good stuff that that it's the least possible disadvantage that I could give to my kid. That's what I want to do. And so that's what we're talking about when we say, when we're talking about generational curses. I just wanted to say that because, I don't want to assume that a lot of people know what we mean or know what we believe. And so I don't want to leave it in a blank area. But it's crazy how even through all that, everything you've gone through, everything that your family's been through, you've still come out and rose basically from the ashes.
Yeah, basically.
And like you said, you're interning at a church. You used to be a school teacher, and you're doing all these things to help the community.
Yeah.
And so I want you to talk as if you're talking to your younger self or somebody else who's 14 years old in the same shoes that you were in.
I got you.
And I want you to. What would you tell them?
What advice would you give yourself?
Hey man, just know that I love you more than what you can imagine. I know that you're going through a lot right now, and it's really tough. You're alone. You've made bad decisions. You got friends who only use you whenever you're convenient. And I know how you feel. I understand. I understand your anger towards your mom, your dad, towards your siblings, towards people who've done wrong by you, people who've touched you. But the best thing that you can do for yourself is to forgive. You can't drive forward if you're always looking backwards. So, just forgive them and continue to be the person that you are. There's people out there that see you as a unique person because there's something about you. Your smile, the way you sing, the way you serve. You are a gift from God. You are not a mistake. God makes no accidents. Everything is on purpose, by purpose. So just know that every day it's going to be hard. Some days it might be good. You might get to laugh. But those hard days, just remember me telling you that I love you. Even though I don't see you, just know that I still love you. I still care for you. You can comment. I can possibly pray for you. And just know that it's people out there that's going through what you're going through. You're not alone. And don't feel bad for asking for help. I had to learn how to ask people for help. Just love people the way you want to be loved, and you'll be taken care of.
That's good. I think a lot of younger people need to understand that they're not the only ones going through things, and that nobody's going to fight as hard nobody's going to fight for them as hard as they will fight for themselves. I'm saying that to also say you need to go find community.
Yeah.
You need to go surround yourself by good people. You need to go find people and surround yourself by people that are going to influence you in a right way, correct you, love on you, just build you up. But it's going to be up to you to surround yourself with those people, right?
It's your choices again.
It's your choice. You have to fight. You need to, like he said, if you're focused on the past, if you're focused on what somebody has done to you, if you're focusing on what you did or what you didn't do, I'm going to say two things. I'm sorry. Number two, okay, what's next though? What are we doing next? Because, oh wait, you want to worry about tomorrow? You want to worry about yesterday again? I'm sorry, but we're on a schedule. We got to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that, for anybody who's listening, I don't care what you've done. Nobody's going to help you move out of whatever mess you're in other than yourself.
Yeah.
And that also includes going to go seek out help. That's got to come from you.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying with this.
Yes.
I'm not saying do everything by yourself, but even going and seeking out help is a huge step. And it comes from ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What do you guys think?
I think you show a great amount of maturity when you're able to actually humble yourself and you're able to realize I'm not all that I want to be right now and I need to go get some help, because that's what showed me, like, hey, Zach, like, you're really in a spot to where you can be better, but you're so stuck on what happened to you in the past and this and that. You need to go get some help and you need to, like, really get right, because you have a great calling and you got a bunch of potential, but you need to get around the right people and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely surrounding yourself with good people is important, because I always tell people, if you're not growing, you're dying, right? It's just the simple fact of life, right? When you're a baby, you start growing. But there comes an age when you start going down, right? It's a part of life. Trees, flowers, plants, everything. There's just a point where if you're not moving, you're just staying still. And there's no middle ground there. Like, we cannot sit and not move forward and expect to be different. You have to consistently change yourself, consistently grow. It takes a everyday pushing forward to better yourself, surrounding yourself with people that are going to, magnify your character and push you in the right direction. That is such an important thing that I think a lot of young people nowadays are missing out on.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're trying to look for the people with the most money, the coolest clothes, the most popular, that they're missing out on people that want to help them genuinely and push them into a better person of who they are. And instead of being challenged, they would rather stay still where they're at and stay around people that are comfortable with where they're at.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because, if you look at water, they say never drink stagnant water. Because stagnant water creates bacteria, leeches, everything, right?
It gets nasty.
It could be.
It looks clean, but it ain't clean.
I went to a river that was kind of like, there's some parts that flow, and I went like cave
diving.
Yeah, exploring. And they have parts of the river that flow through the rocks, but they have parts that are just craters in the rocks that just hold water and nothing flows. And they say, do not get in it, do not drink it, because bacteria grows, leeches get in there, and it's not healthy. And it's crazy that the most pure water can get off track into one of those craters, into one of those holes. Something that is so pure can get misdirected and become something that is filled with bacteria. Yep. And I think that's the importance of staying on track, staying in the right path around other people that are encouraging you and really building you up.
It makes me think about the only thing that grows in comfort is mediocrity.
Yeah.
And that means that you're okay with being okay, and that's never okay.
Bars. Come on, somebody.
That just confused me so much, but for some reason it sounded good.
Dr. Seuss.
For real though, a lot of people are okay with being on food stamps. A lot of people are okay with struggling. A lot of people are okay with living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of
not
people
owning
are okay
anything. Yeah. Depending on
the government and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people are okay.
And this is coming from someone who
has been through it.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. Yeah, my mom, she made $20 $22 more than what the government. Like there's a certain amount of money you have to make a year in order to get food stamps. My mom made $22 more, and she had my oldest sister moved out at this time, so she had 7 kids that she had to feed. A job that only paid about $4,000 a month. This is around 2005. From 2005 all the way to about 2015, she like kept doing this, and all that. So, working as hard as she can, really needing help for the government because she made $22 over. At one point, it was like $8. At one point, it was like $1 and some change. Like they were really about
being so close, but yet so far.
They were like, "Nope, you don't meet the requirements. Nope." Man. And seeing that we really needed help and they wouldn't help us, that made me myself not like the government at all. Like, I don't care. I understand, I respect, and the Bible would say, pay to Caesar what is owed to Caesar. So I give Caesar what is owed to him. And I honor what God has created, but I just don't respect some of the principles and values that they steer off.
Yeah, and you can almost say, like, the system is broken.
Oh, yeah, it is.
To where it wants you to stay stagnant.
It incentivizes.
It wants you to stay where it is. And I've heard people say most people would rather stay comfortable in pain, comfortable in that unhealthy lifestyle, than they would uncomfortable in a luxurious lifestyle. And that's why a lot of people stay in a bad environment, because they would rather stay where they are, being comfortable. And it's sad.
I don't stand for that, man.
How would you encourage maybe youth or young adults that maybe feel like they are staying stagnant, and maybe they feel comfortable in life? How would you encourage them to step out, but not,
Wake up. Get hungry. Like, wake up. Get tired of your situation. Be tired of being tired. That's what woke me up.
Come on.
Being in my sin so much. I got to, when I started going to church, I was still messing up, still sinning. But I wouldn't be the man that I am today if I didn't get tired in the past of being who I was. I woke up, I was like, I don't want my mama to be homeless again. I don't want to be homeless again. I don't want my brothers to be homeless again. I know I got to get out there and get it. It's just, there's too much out here, too many opportunities, it's too much going on for you to be at home thinking, oh man, I didn't get this girl. Oh man, I didn't get this job. Oh man, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. Life is what it is, honestly. Yeah. And that's what I had to come into realization of. Yeah, it sucked for me. I got dealt so many bad cards, but I played that hand, and now I'm winning the game, basically. So you got to wake up. Get hungry. Get tired of being tired. Stand up for yourself. Make something for yourself. Make something for your kids. You don't want to be the guy at the end who's thinking about the things that he could have been. Be something. Don't sit there and want to be what other people's want. Be yourself. Be something. Get hungry for it.
You gotta be hungry.
You gotta be hungry, yeah.
You gotta create a generational blessing, instead of a generational curse.
Woo! And if you do have any generational curses, break them.
It starts with you.
Yeah.
It starts with us.
Yeah, them generational curses was going on in my family until they got to me. Come on. That's what you need to start saying.
Come on.
When they got to me, I put an end to it, and then I started making generational curses. You need to live in a lifestyle to where when your kids are born and your grandkids are born and your kids are talking about the past to your grandkids, they say, "What? Grandma and Grandpa went through that? I never thought about that. Wow, our life is so different. We live in a nice house. They're going to pay for our college." Have that kind of weight behind you. Have that kind of that mindset.
Leave a legacy for the people before you.
I don't want to be known for being my dad's son. And not in a bad way, but I don't want to be known for leaving my kids. I don't want to be known for having sex with men and women, abusing women, doing drugs. I don't want to be known for that. When I leave this earth, you know what I want people to say?
What?
Zack, that was a mighty man of God. That man served his father and this earth to the best of his abilities. I am honored to know him. That's what I want people to say about me. That's better than anything ever. Because my reflection on earth is going to be the same reflection in heaven. if I'm living righteously and I'm doing everything right, when I get to heaven, my Father is going to say, Zach, I am proud of you. These people on earth are talking marvelous of you. You are made in my image and likeness, and you decided to do everything I told you.
I'm kind of glad you said that, because I was going to say, we all should be striving for that. Mm-hmm. We should all be striving for the day that we walk into the kingdom and God looks at us in the eyes as sons and daughters and says, well done, my good and faithful son, my good and faithful daughter. Mm. That is what we strive for here on earth.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you believe, whether you don't believe in God or you do believe in God, the stats are out there. This all came out of because of a man who went through a situation without a father. Mm-hmm. All this that we're talking about came because the natural order, the natural system, whatever you believe, whether God made it that way or He didn't, but we're in this life. We're in this situation where man is man and woman is woman, and when they come together, it becomes a family.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that or not, the stats are out there of what happens when that comes out of alignment. And so, young man out there, train yourself, better yourself to become a father. Young woman out there, stop. I don't think women understand the power that they have.
Oh yeah, you're
they
precious.
They can shift the way men start acting.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Women, stop
devaluing
wasting your time on people, on men that you know are gonna walk out on you.
Come
on. And your kids. Start choosing kids. Not kids. But start choosing men that are actually men.
Yeah, don't choose a boy, choose a man.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of grown boys, but they ain't men.
They're not.
So you need to start choosing these things. We're in a battle.
Yeah.
We're in a battle. And that battle has been going on since the beginning of time, and it's been attacking family. And you can be part of that change today, and you can start now being part of that change, being part of the effort, being part of the resistance.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Be the best man and woman of God that you can be. And so,
with that, we just want to thank you guys for watching and listening wherever you're watching. Apple Podcasts, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify. We just thank you guys. We want to thank Zach for joining us. So much, man. It was an honor to have you on the podcast. We just thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe or follow us, and stay tuned for next week.
Yep.
We got some good stuff coming out.
Come on, somebody.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
See you next week.